call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials, grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Allen?
Here.
LaFour?
Here.
Ostrovich?
Here.
Reindel?
Here.
Ricks?
Here.
Schultz?
Here.
Warren?
Here.
We move on to approval of minutes for the City Council meeting of September 16th. Is there a motion?
Motion. Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We also have the special council meeting on the same evening. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion. Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion on those minutes? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to audience comments on any items that are not on the agenda. It looks like everybody's here for the agenda items. Mr. City Manager, any changes on the agenda?
Yes, I would ask that council remove item number 5, sale of property. We're still tweaking that purchase agreement a little bit.
Very good.
We'll be at the next meeting.
City Council, anything? Motion to accept the amended agenda would be in order.
Make the motion. Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. According to our rules, there is no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to items for consideration, which we have 6 on the amended agenda. The first one is presentation of the fiscal year 2023-24 city audit. Mr. City Manager.
Council is scheduled to receive a presentation from the city auditors, Plant Moran, on the fiscal year 23-24 audit. The auditors are able to give an unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion that can be provided. And the auditor's presentation will also express the city's in sound financial position. With us tonight are Keith and Veronica to do the presentation.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to be with you. I'm happy to say I got a chance to hear the last out of the Tiger game before coming in today. The Commanders closed it out just in time.
Over, yeah.
So, once again, we have much good news for you to report on from the audit. As City Manager mentioned, it is an unmodified opinion, so the highest level of assurance we can give to a set of financial statements. And there are also many positive results in terms of how the general fund and other operations performed through the last year. In just a minute, I'm going to turn it over to Veronica to walk through a couple slides highlighting the financial results for the last year. And as she's going to point out, part of what contributed to the positive results in 2024 and some of the previous years are some one-time revenue sources. So while the city finds itself in great financial position with fund balance that's probably the highest it's ever been, it is important to keep that in mind that these results for the last year in particular are somewhat skewed by those one-time revenue sources. So with that, I'll turn it over to Veronica.
Thanks, Keith. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, so hopefully you all have the graph presentation in front of you. We like to put this together because it provides a quick snapshot of some of the most important factors or metrics that you'll see in the full financial statements, which you also have, but this is an easier way to view them. So the very first slide that you'll see here is representing your general fund revenue from the year. So all the way on the left is going to be fiscal year 2020 results. And then moving all the way to the right would have been this past fiscal year's results. So as Keith had mentioned, what you'll see pointed out specifically in 2021, 2023, and then most significantly this past fiscal year, are these non-recurring revenue sources that are shaded in the teal color in here. So The non-recurring revenue sources relate to some of the COVID-related federal funding that came through. And then this past year, the biggest source would have been the library donation that came through this past year. So those would inflate your typical year after year revenue numbers. So we wanted to break those out separately so that you can see the impact from those results. The other item we wanted to point out as you're looking at general fund revenue is the continued significance of your property tax revenue. So your property tax revenue was about $3.1 million this year in total and makes up about 51% of your total revenue sources from this past fiscal year. All right. So the next slide that you'll see here is presenting your general fund expenditures, and it's set up the exact same way as the past slide. So this year you'll see that there was $5.6 million in total general fund expenditures, which is increased about it increased about 9% this year. So while your revenues increased 13%, your expenditures increased not quite as much this past year. Very typical for similar communities, you'll see that the public safety related expenditures make up the most significant chunk of your overall expenditures from this past year. This year in particular, they made up 48% of total expenditures, coming in right around $2.7 million. And that $2.7 million you'll see is a slight increase from last year's $2.2 million. It actually represents about a 24% increase, and majority of that is just related to the new contract that was in place this year, as well as the additional MERS related contributions from this past year. All right. And then this next slide here is showing you the general fund balance over the past several years, and then the 2025 budgeted fund balance. So the biggest thing that you'll see in here is that teal piece of the fund balance for 2024 is representing the restricted fund balance, and that's directly related to the library donation proceeds. So because that funding can't be used on just anything, that piece is included in restricted fund balance this year. But you will see that a majority of your overall fund balance is in unassigned fund balance, meaning that it's available for any potential use. And so having a very healthy fund balance at the end of fiscal year 2024 is a great thing for the city, and really calls for kudos to all of council for keeping a close eye on expenditures year after year to get fund balance into that position. All right. And then moving away from fund balance and looking at the water and sewer funds, you'll see the sewer fund is in the top left and your water fund is in the bottom right. And there's really two measures that we're looking at for both of these funds this year. So the first metric that we look at is your operating income, and the second metric is your working capital. So really just reflecting your ability to pay your current liabilities as they come due with the current assets that you have on hand at the end of the fiscal year. So you'll see for both funds that you have a healthy working capital, and so that's put the city in a position where you don't necessarily have to go out for debt as you have different sewer projects that come up. The other thing to note is when you're looking at your operating loss, so the sewer fund is showing an operating loss this year of about $78,000, and a large piece of that includes $432,000 of depreciation expense, so a non-cash related expense is included in that operating loss from this past year. So the big takeaway as we're looking at the overall metrics for the water fund, the sewer fund, and the general fund that we covered in the past slides is really just that all of the funds are in a strong financial position, and it's a great result for the end of the year for the city. So we'll go ahead and open it up to questions, if there's any questions from anyone.
Council have any questions? You guys make it very simple to understand. And I think our administration keeps us abreast of where we're at too throughout the year. We get our balance sheets each month, and so we kind of, but you guys put it all together very nicely for us laymen to understand exactly what we've done this past year. So, very good.
There is, a second deliverable in your packet addressed to mayor and members of council on Plant Moran letterhead. This is our end of audit letter. The most important part of this letter is what's not included here, and that's any internal control related findings. So once again, the city's gotten accustomed to this over the last few years. It's not very common, honestly, for us to have a clean audit in which we don't identify any significant adjustments as part of the audit or any potential weaknesses in internal controls and segregation of duties. So the city, particularly Angel, have done a tremendous job, not only maintaining the books and records throughout the year and the thousands of transactions that are processed through the city, but in closing the books, getting ready for the audit, and frankly, being very well prepared for a very quick and timely audit. The fact that we're here just a little more than 3 months after the end of the year with completely finalized reports and good results for you, again, is a credit to Angel and the rest of the staff at the city for a job well done.
Very good, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate what she does and what he does and the whole staff. Keeping this together. We like to hear this every year. So, thank you very much. Council, any other comments? We need a motion?
I'll make a motion to receive and file the City of Richmond June 30th, 2024 financial report with supplemental information from Plant Moran.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Again, thank you, Angel. Appreciate it. Job well done again. And John, for your overseeing of all of this all year long. And certainly council, when we've spent the time that we've had to spend in all of our budget meetings that we have before summer hits to make sure that we're expending the funds the way they should be expended. So it looks like by what we're looking at here on the graphs, we're definitely still doing that. So again, we appreciate the direction that we get from staff on that. Anything else? Thank you very much.
Thank
See you
you.
next year.
Look forward to it.
Item number 2 is consideration of special event request, Lions Club, Goodfellow Papers. Mr. City Manager?
Oh, yeah, we didn't vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't vote. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay, now we're back on to item number 2. Special request from Lions Club.
Council is scheduled to consider the request received from the Richmond Lions Club to conduct their annual Goodfellow paper sale on Friday, December 6th and Saturday, December 7th. The Lions Club's requesting to be allowed to solicit during their sale in the intersections of Main and Division and County Line and St. Clair Highway. Administration just recommends that we not allow the club to be in the intersection of Main and Division from 2:30 to 3:30 to account for school traffic.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request received from the Richmond Lions Club to conduct their Goodfellow paper sale at the intersections of Main and Division and County Line Road and St. Clair Highway on Friday, December 6th and Saturday, December 7th, 2024. Further, the Lions Club agree not to be in the Main Division intersection on Friday, December 6th from 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. and further that the Lions agree to sign a liability waiver.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this item? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 3, consideration of special event request, MFV Starcraft Brewery. Mr. City Manager.
City Council is scheduled to consider a special event request for a mobile food vendor from Starcraft Brewery to have a mobile food vendor, Scalisi's Pizza, on site on Friday, October 11th from 5 to 10 p.m. Starcraft is having this event to announce that Scalisi's Pizza will be moving into their kitchen when it is completed.
Very good. Sir, you have
sir.
anything to add to that?
No, that's about it.
You're going to have, is it considered full-time pizza in the back when you do get there?
Yes.
It's so,
Yep,
okay.
we're gonna change our hours to catch the lunch crowd
Oh,
once he's in there, yeah.
okay, good,
So we'll be expanding our hours and he'll be there the whole time.
good, very good. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the special request for the mobile food vendors from Starcraft Brewery to have a mobile food vendor, Scalisi's Pizza, on site on Friday, October 11th, 2024, at 5 p.m. till 10 p.m.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion on this item? Well, it's good to see.
Good news.
Business is growing.
Oh, we're hanging in there.
Yeah, yes. Any other comments? Being not, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming tonight.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Item number 4 is consideration of awarding odd landscaping bid. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider awarding the bid for the Odd Landscaping Project. Recently, Ray Wiegand's Nursery worked with the council and administration to come up with a plan for the landscaping project in front of the Odd. The Public Service Director and City Manager prepared bid documents based on that plan, and we sent them out to 5 companies. The city received 4 bids, and the low bidder is D&E Landscaping. Prior to him leaving, I did go over the bids with Jim Getzinger and made sure everything was apples to apples, and our recommendation is to award it to D&E.
Very good, thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to award the Odd Landscaping Project to D&E Landscaping in the amount of $10,749.53.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion on this item? And this is going to be, I was told there was possibility they were starting today. Have you heard that?
No.
Because they haven't awarded the bid.
Right,
yet.
right, yeah.
One of our employees thought maybe they were going to start doing something
Yeah,
today.
no,
Okay.
I don't believe so.
All right.
I plan
But-
on calling him tomorrow morning. He had talked to me, and I told him when the meeting would be, so if there was any miscommunication there, I'll
It could have been
circle-
when he was there
back.
looking at it,
Yeah, yeah. So-
was indicating that he'd like to start right away. And that was the
Yeah,
crux. We're gonna get this planted within the next 2 weeks before the weather can
yeah.
change.
Yep.
Great.
And everything's staying the same as that plan we went through at our workshop?
Yes.
I mean, no
correct.
changes
No
afterwards?
changes, yep.
Anything else? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We have another motion to amend the fund.
I'll make the motion to amend the Park and Recreation Fund Odd Department Building Additions Improvement line item from $5,000 to $15,750.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this? Being not, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Really looking forward to that. Item number 6 on the amended agenda is consideration of EDC board appointment. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider confirming the mayor's appointment to the Economic Development Corporation. Attached is the application from Diana Manesi indicating her interest on being reappointed to the board.
Thank you. And I do hope that you can confirm my reappointment of Diana Manesi. I've been bending her arm every time I've seen her. For about the last 3 months, she's a little behind getting there, but thank her for hooking back up again to the EDC. I think she is a positive person to have on that EDC, being a business person in the downtown area. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to confirm the mayor's reappointment of Diana Manesi to the Economic Development Corporation, EDC, for a 6-year term with expiration date July 1st, 2029.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this item? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 7, consideration of special event request, Knights of Columbus for the Tootsie Roll sale. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider a request received from the Richmond Knights of Columbus to conduct their annual Tootsie Roll sale on Friday, October 11th and Saturday, October 12th, with Sunday, October 13th being reserved for rain date. The Knights are requesting permission to solicit in the intersection of Main and Division and County Line and St. Clair Highway. Again, we just asked that they not be in the Main and Division intersection during school. School gets up.
Very good. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request received from the Richmond Knights of Columbus to conduct their Tootsie Roll sale at the intersections of Main and Division and County Line Road, St. Clair Highway, City Side on Friday, October 11th and Saturday, October 12th, 2024, with Sunday, October 13th being reserved as an inclement weather date from dawn to dusk, and that the Knights of Columbus agree not to be in Main Division intersections on Friday, October 11th from 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., and further that the Knights of Columbus agree to sign a liability waiver.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We hope for good weather for that. Miscellaneous matters from the city manager, sir.
We did receive word from Rawhorn Electric that they would be in town possibly Wednesday, starting the kind of continuation of the downtown lighting project from the lights to the front facade. So hopefully see them out there this week.
Very good. Very good. Moving on, council comments. Mike?
No, nothing to add.
Dennis?
Just happy to be back.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Jimbo?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Emily?
Nothing, thank you.
John?
Nothing tonight.
Rob?
All set.
Wow, all the way around. Okay, well, I've got some announcements, certainly. The volunteer fire department's having their pancake breakfast and open house. And there will also be a free lunch also, brought to you by the Richmond Good Old Days Festival, served up by the Richmond Volunteer Fire Department. This is on Sunday, October 13th, 8 a.m. to noon, and it's a free will donation. So stop by the north end is where our fire department is located. Stop by and get in there and see all of our equipment and all the firemen. Also, our police department is responsible for the school crossing guards throughout the community. We are having a hard time getting people to work, which seems like everybody has a hard time getting people to work anywhere anymore. This pays $15 an hour. It's 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the afternoon. Get a hold of our police department at 727-4000, I believe.
Yes.
And they'd be more than happy to talk to you. I'm sure we'll see that up on our bulletin board. The No Tricks Only Treats Thursday, October 31st, on Halloween from 6 to 8 for our annual No Tricks and Only Treats will also be held at the Richmond Fire Hall on the north end of town. The Count Richmond will be there, and the police department will check all candy throughout the event. Fire department will provide treats and hot chocolate. The children ages are 12 and under, and it will be held rain or shine. And there's also, what is this? Business event rules, and this must be...
That's the application for the organizations that hand out the candy. So,
Oh, okay, all right.
yep,
So
yep.
any organizations that would like to be involved this year with that, as far as handing out candy, call 727-3064. We have a cable commission meeting at 6:30 tomorrow night, the 8th. Planning commission will be meeting on the 10th at 7 o'clock. I don't believe there's a BZA.
There's not, no.
Again, this Sunday is a pancake breakfast at the fire department. Excuse me. The 14th is at 5:30. The library board will be meeting at the library. There is a book sale that will be on the 16th. over at our library. And then on the that's an early bird, on the 17th, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., the Friends of the Library book sale will be going on, ending on Sweetest Day, the 19th, where they have a bag day. Everything you can fit in the bag for so much money. 2 weeks from tonight, the City Council will be meeting at 5:30 for a workshop session, and our regular meeting will be held at 7. Is there anything else that we need to put on the calendar? If not, is there any other business of the City Council this evening? Being not,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
motion been made and supported. There's no discussion on the adjournment motion. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Thanks for being with us.